Hello, beautifuls. Everything that we experience is for our highest good. And I'm not saying that in a toxic positivity type of way, but it is my experience that everything has a gift within it. We have to be willing to delve sometimes into the depth of that experience to find the gift. We have to be open and willing to receive it as a gift. And recently I was in Rishikesh, and coming back, I had one of those bitter sweet experiences. And I would like to share it here in hopes that it might help and inspire others to look for the gift in their circumstances and their experiences. So we were driving and I needed to use the washroom and we needed to gas up. So we stopped at a gas station and my friend was filling the car and I went to go use the facilities. And as I started walking across the parking lot, two scooters came in and they had three young men on them each. And they deliberately drove in a way that they cut me off. And I acknowledged them with a smile. Didn't upset me. I knew what they were doing, but oh well. I smiled and I walked around them. And they didn't engage. No smile, no anything. And immediately my spidey senses went into high alert. And I continued to walk to the bathroom, which was behind the building, away from the sight of my friend and all the attendants. And three of these gentlemen decided to follow me. And I was paying very close attention, and the men's washroom was before the women's, and they went into the men's washroom. And I breathed a little sigh of relief. And as I took the steps up to the women's washroom, when I went to unlatch the lock, because it was locked on the outside, everything in my body went electric. And I thought, wow, that's a really odd to have the latch on the outside. Now, why didn't I listen to what was happening in my body? Because I was somewhere else. I was not in the present moment. And in that place, I went in, I locked the door, and I was midway through my business when I heard the latch slide from the outside. Now, consciously, I knew I would be fine because my friend would miss me in a matter of time. But something in me panicked. Probably the combination of, it was the lack of cleanliness in that space, the lack of ventilation, and the stench, and the 39-degree heat. It was incredibly hot in there. And I panicked, even though I knew I would be safe. I went into that panic mode and I started banging on the door, jiggling it as hard as I could. I was screaming at the top of my lungs and nobody came. It was about 5 minutes before one of the attendants let me out. And I was able to hold back the tears long enough till I got in the car. And then I cried. I felt there was just, it ignited the victim story that I have had since childhood about not being safe, right? And I felt really disempowered. And as we were driving home, I was like, okay, the lesson here, I get it. I have an insanely in tune navigation system that I sometimes disregard. because I'm not present in the moment. And I was like, I needed to be disempowered. I needed to have that experience in order to appreciate that. However, that was not the only lesson. That night, came home, went to bed. I had the most powerful, lucid dream. And in this dream, I was back in the washroom. However, I was no longer powerless or a victim, but I came in connection with a skill, an ability that I have forgotten or disregarded or ignored. I don't want to say didn't know I had, because on some level I knew I had it, everybody has it, but I have ignored it. I have refused to step into the use of this gift and ability, which makes me invulnerable, which makes me incredibly powerful. And so I had to be in a place where I felt absolutely disempowered in order to acknowledge and fully step into my power. Oh, I feel that. And I'm sharing this today because no matter what you are going through, it might feel terrifying. And it doesn't need to be, that you're physically terrified. Maybe you have no money and you feel terrified because you don't think there's a way out and you feel disempowered. Rest assured that the universe is providing for you a very, very powerful gift for you to step into your power. And you can only do so if you are open and willing to receive that gift and to learn the lesson. I thank you so much for listening. If you are new here, welcome. Each and every one of us invite you lovingly into this community. And for those of you who are returning, as always, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. I am thrilled to do what I do, and I can do that because of you. Until we speak again, please be well.